Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the definition of the economic planning. Definition means clear cut meaning of something. Just we have to know about the definition of the economic planning. Okay, so in the previous class we already discussed about the introduction of the economic planning. Okay, so coming to the topic, so a number of the definitions have been forwarded by the different economists from time to time since the term planning was entered into the economics. Okay, so when the planning term, so the name planning term was entered into the economics of the world. So there are so many number of the definitions were given by the different economists. Okay, so in each and every country we have the economists, right? So each and every economist they forwarded different types of the definitions regarding the economic planning. Okay, so clear cut understanding about the definition of the economic planning, so we need to depend on some working definitions. Okay, just we have to know about some working definitions, so maybe those working definitions are fit for the contemporary times. Okay, it means we have number of the definitions in the world about the economic planning, but few of them only can be called as a working definitions. Okay, so maybe those definitions are very suitable for the present time. Okay, so one of the famous economists in the world, so his name is H.D. Dixon. So according to his views, economic planning is the making of major economic decisions. Okay, so here whenever comes to the particular country's economy, so we have to declare some major economic decisions. Okay, so those economic the decisions which may under the economy only, so those major economic decisions we have to make, so those decisions can be called as the economic planning. According to the plan, so we have to make some major economic decisions. Okay, so those may affect the economy of a particular country. Okay, for example, those decisions are maybe, so what is to be produced. Okay, so what the types of we have to produce. Okay, and how much is to be produced and to whom it is to be allocated. Okay, so these are very important decisions in a particular country's economy. Okay, so what I have to produce in a country. Okay, and how I make the people to produce those things. Okay, how much is to be produced, it means there are so many people, the population is increasing day by day in India. Okay, so we have to focus on the population also, and we have to focus on the food for the people also. Okay, so how much is to be produced is the one of the major economic decision in our India. Okay, and to whom it is to be allocated by the conscious decision of a determinate authority. Okay, so this is very conscious decision. So what is to be produced, it means each and everyone is involving in the production, right? And how much is to be produced, it means this is the major decision which was determined by the government. Okay, and to whom it is to be allocated. Okay, for example, below poverty line, so some subsidies were given to the below poverty line. Okay, so to whom, so how many people, so it means how much of the percentage of the population we have to allocate them. Okay, so these are the very important economic decisions, we have to make them very clear in the country. Okay, so it means we need the conscious decisions regarding these things. Okay, so mostly these things are determined by the major authority in a particular country. Okay, so these important decisions were determined on the basis of a comprehensive survey of the economic system as a whole. Okay, so without knowing about the population, without knowing about the crops, without knowing about the below poverty people, so we didn't give some resources to them. Okay, it means it is based on the comprehensive survey. Okay, so we have to conduct one survey of the economic system as a whole overall India. We have to conduct a survey. On the basis of the comprehensive survey, so we have to determine all these important economic decisions. Okay, so almost whenever comes to the Indian point of view, so it was a national planning committee, it was set up in 1938 only. It means before independence also we have the committee, so that is national planning committee. So especially this was established by the INC, Indian National Congress. Okay, so for the first time, so it was defined the planning, what was the planning in India. Okay, so in 1940 the final report was submitted, the final report was published in 1949, and it first time it was given the clear cut definition of the planning in 1940. Okay, especially we are talking about the Indian point of view. Okay, so coming to the broadest possible definition of the economic planning is, so planning under a democratic system. So basically each and every country has their economic planning, but democratic and monarchy, there are two types of the governments in the world, right? So whenever comes to the democratic system of the planning may be defined as the technical coordination. Okay, so those are the consumption, production, investment, trade and income distribution. So these are very important economic planning. Okay, consumption is very important, and production, what we are producing and how much is to be produced and to whom it is to be allocated. Okay, investment, it means investing money on a particular thing, especially for the production. Trade, okay, so it means transporting goods from one place to another place, one country to another country, one state to another state, one area to another area. Okay, and the next, income distribution. Okay, so each and every person has to draw the money, it means each and every person is involving in the work. Okay, so how much money they are receiving on the basis of the income. So these are very economic decisions in accordance to the social objectives set by the bodies representatives of the nation. Okay, so these things are accordance of the social object, we have some social objectives, so those are set by the bodies, so that means economic planning body of the nation. Okay, so such type of the planning is not only to be considered as from the point of economics or economy, but raising to standard of living. Okay, and but must include the cultural and spiritual values also, and human side of life. So these things are very important whenever we are going to plan something in the country. So we need to maintain some standard of living of the people, and we have to include the cultural and spiritual values in the economic planning, not only on the point of economy, but we have to focus on the standard of living and culture of the people and spiritual values of the people and human side of life. Okay, so it means we have to follow some ethics. So by the late 1930, it means we already know about the economic planning, and we have set up that economic national planning committee in 1938 itself only. There was a almost a political consensus. It means they given one type of the important objectives that independent India will be a planned economy. Okay, so after independence of India, so the India will be a planned economy. So this was important decision was taken in 1938 itself only. Okay, so after independence of India, so by the early 1950s, so India commenced economic planning in India. Okay, so the Planning Commission of India was went to the define the different types of the plannings in India. Okay, so during 1950s, so we have started to define the planning, and it also provides, so it is a one type of the strategy for promoting. Planning is essential an attempt of at working out the rational solutions of the problems. Okay, so it means planning is one type of the solution bag. Okay, it means we are giving solutions to the economic problems. Okay, next, in post-war period, so a large number of the newly independent countries were attracted towards the planning. Okay, so because so after the two world wars, the economy of each and every country were affected. Okay, so that's why they started to define the planning, and if any country was started the economic planning, so whenever the growth was started in that particular country, so remaining countries also were attracted towards that particular developed country. Okay, so that the main important thing is, if any countries follows something, it is to be good for the economy, the remaining countries also attracted towards that particular planning. Okay, so So many new forces of change kept refining. Here, refining means removing unwanted things in the economy. So the very idea of planning. So due to the compulsive necessities of the industrialization or the issue of the sustainable development process, so the people very important and they taken different types of the decisions, and there was a change in the idea of planning also. Okay.